Well, g'day everybody, Steve from Mud Ducks 4 Drive Touring with another spotlight on campgrounds. Today I'm out at the little town of Broke in the Hunter Valley. Broke is, I don't know, 15-20 minutes west of the vineyards going further inland, and it's probably 20 minutes east of another little town called Milbradale, which is where you can go to the Tough Truck Challenge. For four drivers will know where that is fairly well. Now, this place is literally not far from the town. There's the town of Broke, sort of just over there. So it's pretty close to that. But where we are is with this place called McNamara Park. And McNamara Park is a free campground. It's run by the Singleton Council. You can stay here for 3 nights. Now, we're still in the drought in the Hunter. It looks like it's broken today, but really it hasn't. That just tells you about the flora and the fauna in the park. This place is massive. As you can see, total fire ban at the moment. Now, you'd have to be living under a rock if you didn't know that half of Australia's on fire. So that's my car beeping. Anyway, this is a fairly big campground. It's that big I may have to drive you around it, but we'll go for a walk anyway, see what we can show you. Now, it's pretty well self-sufficient. It's not powered, but it does have toilet facilities. So you've got 2 roads to go in. I'll go in the road less travelled by the look of it, although, well, less paved anyway. As you can see, there's a few campers here. It's Saturday, so yes, you'd expect there'd be a few campers. It's early January. It's a beautiful temperature today. It's maybe 20 degrees, 21. It followed a filthy hot day yesterday. Would have been okay in here under the bush trees, but certainly less pleasant. You can drive in here in anything, road cars, 4 drives, motorhomes, bring your caravans in, pretty well whatever you like, camper trailers. I reckon there's about 50 sites. I reckon there's a bit more than that. It's no bookings because it's completely free. As you can see, you've got people in tents over there. A caravan here. Now, as far as I can tell, normally you can have fires here, but obviously that's not happening at the moment. So you do have to be mostly self-contained for power and water and food and stuff. Although that said, the Broke shop, the general store and servo, is a couple of minute walk at most, depending on what part of the campground you're in. So as you can see, just nice cleared. It's still reasonably well grassed considering. There's lots and lots of flat areas. There's a few bumps, but it's mostly flat. Now, I've been walking for a few minutes, as you can hear, guys, as you've seen. And over in the distance is where those toilets are. So, depending on how much need you've got for them, might affect where you choose to camp in this park. But considering it's a free campground, you don't have to book into. You can stay here for 3 nights, and it's right on the edge of a town. It's pretty good. So I think I'd rate this one. As you can see through the trees, that's the edges of a town. There's a church over there. You can see the streets through the trees probably, but sporting fields are further around. But yeah, it's literally camping at the edge of a little town in the Hunter Valley. Now, why would you come here? Well, if you come into Hunter for a concert, like you might come out of Sydney, you know, they have concerts up in the vineyards in Hunter Valley, and you don't want to pay the exorbitant prices for accommodation around the vineyards. Well, you will, and well, I should say you will. You can come here and camp, and it's a 20-minute drive. So that'd be a pretty good way to do it if you want to come up to events in the vineyards. As I mentioned in the beginning, and as it happens, I'm wearing a Tough Truck shirt today. The Tough Truck challenge is about another 20 minutes the other way, and a lot of people like to get up here early, and you can't get in there until it's the right day on Friday. And depending on where you've come from, you could come from Queensland, God knows where. This might be a good spot to stop and wait until you can drive in. So I'm finally reaching the toilet area here. And as you can see, guys, the place is massive. There are some bins provided in this part of it. I'd suggest you just bring your gear in and take it back out again. But here's your toilet facilities. I'm assuming, I'm not actually, I won't assume. I'll have a look, I'll have a quick look. Oh, there you go. Flushing. Must be because it's in a town. How good is that? There's a light up there. I don't know when that comes on. Didn't see a lot of point in showing you too much about a toilet, guys, eh? It's a toilet. Anyway, a flushing toilet. It's a bit unusual for us. Looks like there's some power boxes. I don't know whether you can use those if you've got a van or not. I think I've read, and I'll find the info and put it into this clip, that you're supposed to be self-sufficient. So it's probably not powered sites. They might have done them as powered sites once before. Let's have a look. Distribution board. Looks like it's locked. So yeah, yeah, self-sufficient, got 415. Yeah, it's self-sufficient, guys, power and lighting wise. But it looks like you can camp all through here. Well, I'm in amongst the trees at the minute, which obviously is a bit difficult for camping, but you can camp right through there. Now, it's a fair way down to there. So I'm not going to walk the rest of the way around. What I'll do is when I get back to the Ranger, I'll flick the camera I usually use in car around, and I'll just take you for a quick drive around it. Now, I might not do much talking on that bit. I might even speed it up, but to give you a good idea as to what it looks like. I'm commenting on this as I go along, guys, so what I do and what I've said may be different things. Hopefully it's not. But anyhow, it's a good little campground. I may even come and camp here. It's far enough from home to warrant coming up for a couple of days, just to get away from home. It does feel a bit odd because it's bush, but it's right there next to the town. I'm just pointing in the general direction of what's around, guys. But as you can see, there's a few campers around. The spots are really quite good. Very flat generally, so you're not going to have a hard time getting yourself set up. There's a few bush shelters that I didn't mention earlier, but you can camp near those, take advantage of a table and a bit of a roof. So yeah, there's a bit of good stuff here, guys. Anyhow, I'll pull the pin on the filming the walking back to the car, because you see me walking away from it, and I'll show you what else I can show you when I figure it out. You reckon I've done a few of these now, you reckon I'd have figured it out, but anyway, we'll make it up as we go. I think it's what you guys really like, isn't it? In fact, I don't bother scripting stuff, make it up as I go along. I hope so anyway. All right, I'll stop filming now and rabbiting on. I'm starting to sound like Buck. Sorry, Buck. And I'll get back to you when there's more to show you. Well, just while I walk back to the Ranger, just had a chat with a couple in a caravan, and they've basically confirmed everything I just said. To go to the vineyards or the concerts in the vineyards, accommodation around those areas is quite expensive. This is 20 minutes away if you want to drive. But they just mentioned to me that if you're going to a vineyard event like a concert, or even a lot of the wine tours around the Hunter Valley, the bus companies will come down here and pick you up from the general store. There's a fee involved, but let's face it, it's cheaper than if you had to pay accommodation. They've been telling me that the accommodation around the vineyards is typically a couple $100. You can't have it for less than 2 nights, which is a bit of a nuisance for some. So I won't go into where these people came from. They didn't say they wanted to be mentioned. So they've driven up with a caravan. They're going to an event tonight, and they can get on a bus so they can still drink, and the bus will take them to the event and bring them back to a general store, which is literally less than 2 or 3 minute walk from where they're camping. So that's pretty cool. Another thing I thought of is, being a nice grassy area, I reckon you'd be relatively okay for horse float. I reckon if you needed to get your horses out, you could probably do that. Now for the kids, I'm just crossing a main road, guys. For the kids, I'll spin this around. It's a big kid over here. I don't know if you can see it down there. But there's a park just across from the campground with all the usual kid stuff. I think Kaz is on the swing there. As you can see, there's climbing stuff, all sorts of things. But anyway, it's a decent sort of a park. Break's not what you call the world's busiest town, even when stuff's going on. The highways, not that bad. And I must admit, this is quiet, particularly for a Saturday. That's the town itself, that's your main road. So it is quite quiet, but you know, common sense rules would apply, wouldn't they? All right, I'm going to set you all up and take you for that run with the camera on the dash. Well, not on the dash, on the windscreen spun round, and give you a look right through the park at a driving speed. As promised, I'll take you for this drive around here. So, as I said, it's quite a big campground, and I didn't want to spend a week walking around it really. So I'll take you the way I walked and back around the other way. So this is really straightforward sort of little dirt track. As previously mentioned, you can get in here in pretty well anything. Road cars, 4-wheel drives obviously, motorhomes, caravans, they all make it. So all of this stuff can be done very easily. Now if you don't go in this way, or there's other road which I'll show you, you don't have to do the almost little 4-wheel drive bit that I'm coming up to shortly. Might have been less obvious when I was walking, but it's not a bad campground, guys. So if you've got reason to come to the Hunter, like even if you're from the Central Coast or something and you just need to come to the Hunter for a couple of nights, think about coming to Broke to camp. It's not my usual bush camp, of course, guys, but well, you know, we're touring, touring sometimes means you're near towns, doesn't it? So we're happy to be near one here. And this one seems to be a cracker of a little campground. So anyway, I probably won't say much for the rest of the drive around. I'll speed it up and give you a look at it in slightly fast motion. We'll catch up with you in a tick. Whole area we found one can on the ground, so that's not bad. I haven't seen any other rubbish. We just found one can on the ground, so we just picked it up. Even though there's bins, somebody chose to throw a can on the ground. I won't rabbit on about it, guys, you've heard it before. Well, that brings us back out to where we came in, but this is not the only access point. So I'll take you for a quick run down the other part of the tarred road just near here. This bit's right at the intersection of Milberdale Road, and I'm not sure what the other road's called. Anyway, it's a road, the main road. No, that's not it. Anyway, so this is the main road that takes you back towards Singleton. So Wallenby Street or something like that. Probably Wallenby Street. Anyway, as we're going along here, there's another road just to the left there that gets you into that section. There's another one just here, we just went past that little church. So that's two different ways in so far. So three including the way we went in. Another little side road coming off. Well, two tracks coming off there. It might not be an access road normally, but people still drive in it. So realistically, it's quite a big area to drive into. And here's the other access point just here. Probably the other main one. It's near the sign here, McNamara Park. Hopefully you caught that in me swing around. If not, I reckon you know where we are, so I'm not going to do it again. Anyway, that's pretty well all there is to tell you about that bit. Alright, well, just for a slightly different ending compared to my usual endings, because I'm not walking around at this point, I'd just like to say thanks to everybody for watching, taking the time to watch my videos. I hope you found this one useful. If you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel. If you're an old hand, thanks again for your support as always. And no doubt we will catch up with you again on the next one. But just to quickly once again recap, I can never get the bloody commentary right on these things. I'm not a pro. Anyway, that was McNamara Park, just outside, well, it's actually in the town of Broke, in the Hunter Valley. So thanks for watching. So it's cheers from me.
Cheers from me.
Cheers from her. How's that? Alright guys, have a good one. Talk to you soon.